stuff. Yes, we're back with another rider, another episode. Today we have Mark and his lovely wife Paulette in the car. They just come from holiday, and Mark seems to be a whiz when it comes to electric cars and much more. So he's been driving electric cars for 5 years, and I just wanted him to recap on what you were explaining about home charging and the benefits.
Yes, mate. I was just saying, pal, that I used to have a basic Pod Points charger at home, and that enabled me to connect with Octopus Go, but I've changed it 6 months ago to a Home Pro Intelligence, so Home OHME, and that allows me to connect to the Octopus Intelligent network, and it's game changing. I'm charging at times 140, 150 miles for £3 or less than £3, so yeah, it's really, really good, and it's saved me a fortune by doing that.
Do you want to explain a bit of detail about how it works? You're saying about the fibre optics?
Yeah, so I don't fully understand all the detail, but you get a 6-hour window overnight with Octopus Intelligent, so it's 7 pence a kilowatt hour, whereas peak's like 27 pence a kilowatt. But with this particular charger, what it does, if you plug it in at 5 o'clock at night, it basically talks to the grid via Octopus, and if there is spare capacity in the grid, it gives it you at that off-peak rate. So that's why basically when I'm putting 140, 150 miles on for less than £3, it's because it's giving me that spare capacity in the grid.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I understand it, which is pretty good.
So the device is OHME Intelligent.
Pro Intelligence, and the supplier is Octopus. Octopus, yeah, and it's the Octopus Intelligent rate that you need to join on with. But it was one of my colleagues at work who put me onto this, so yeah, it's game changing.
How have you found driving electric cars?
Found them alright actually. It took a bit of getting used to at first, because typically I only use the accelerator as a general rule. I can't remember the last time I've used my brake because of the I don't know what you call it, but yeah, but found it fine. You know, got over the range anxiety within the first couple of months. I've had the odd wobble here and there where I've been, you know, down the southwest and scrambling around at 8 o'clock at night trying to find a charger, but I do 95% of my charging at home, so yeah, it works all right for me, and yeah, all good.
Okay, and you have the Kia EV9, which is a car, if people follow me, they will know I always bang on about because I want it.
Yeah.
And they've come out with a new battery for the Kia EV9, which gives you a longer range, because the existing one wasn't selling because the range wasn't. You've got the existing battery.
I've got so it's a 2024 model. Is it just literally come out just now then?
Yeah, that's what they was talking to me about when they said telling me to come and try the car. So I told them I'm doing like anywhere up to 250 miles a day.
Yes.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So how have you found this Kia EV9?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lovely car. It's the 7-seater version, the GT line, which is the higher spec. Yeah, really, really good driving experience. I like the space because I went from the Tesla Model 3, and that was a bit too small for me. You know, I'm 6'3". So I moved over to this. The only thing I would say is, and this might have been fixed with the battery, the rate at which it charges is quite a bit slower than the Tesla Model 3. So typically at home with the 7.2 kilowatt standard charger that you would have at your home, it typically charges at round about 18 miles an hour. So if I charge it for 10 hours, I'm getting 180 miles, where the Tesla Model 3 was charging at like 27 miles. So it must be the size of the battery, how much charge it can take in. So, but I've overcome that. It's not debilitating in terms of having too much in effect. It's just if I'm doing 2 long journeys, 2 consecutive days, then it can just be a bit of a pain.
Being the Kia, I know Kias usually all have a heat pump automatically. Do
they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fully understand that.
Heat pump, just for those listeners also who don't know what heat pump is a device where it's separate from the main battery and allows you to get heating or AC without reducing the main battery's capacity.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So obviously when it's winter, it's still, you're going to run the heating on the heat pump, but the battery, because it's winters, you're going to get less miles.
Right, okay.
Naturally, but it won't be as bad as if it's winter and you have the heating on full blast. So when I drove the Kia Niro on a higher basis the other day, I had the heating on full blast during winter time, and it was great because the needle barely moved.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so you should have one in, and if you haven't, you might want to ask them what happened and if they could put one in, depending on the costs.
Yes.
But you were speaking about the benefits if you own your own company or have some business, about having a company car for electric. Is that right? You want to explain that?
Yeah. It wasn't about me owning the business. It was just about, generally speaking, in terms of the tax benefits. If if your company signs up to an organisation that effectively provides a car on lease. So the business I work for moved to a company called Tusker. And in essence, the way that works is that the company that I work for provide me with a car allowance. So let's say, for example, that is £400. And the lease of the vehicle, let's say that's £800. So naturally there's a £400 differential between what the company pays me and the cost of the vehicle in terms of the lease. That £400, all the money is basically what's known as a salary sacrifice. So in essence, the £800 cost of the lease for the vehicle gets taken out before tax and national insurance, in the same way as a company pension would. So that effectively means if you're a 20% rate taxpayer, that effectively you're saving 20% on that. If you're 40%, you're saving that. So it's a really good benefit, really, and I would suggest it's one of the reasons why a lot of company car drivers have moved to electric vehicles over the last 5 years.
Now, a lot of car drivers are against EV. What would you say from your experience? Because you've had the Kia EV now. What other cars have you had? They're electric.
I've had the Tesla Model 3.
You had that for 3 years?
I had that for 4 years, and then I've had the EV now for 12 months.
So what would be your convincing words to why you think EV is a good thing?
I think they are a really good thing from my perspective. Print to one side the eco benefits and all that kind of stuff. Certainly, if it's somebody that can benefit from a company scheme, that's definitely up there in terms of the list of benefits. I think just the calmness of the drive, not having to change gears, you're effectively using the accelerator most of the driving, or certainly in my experience. The only thing I would say is I read something a few weeks ago that was saying there's only round about, if you take all the houses, all the real estate in the UK, there's only 42% of households that can have a charger installed. You know, because people are in apartment blocks, or you know, they're in terrace houses where you can't run the cable across the street. That would be a game changer for me. If I couldn't have had that charger installed at home, I very much doubt I would have gone with the electric car. You know, because of the inconvenience. I have a colleague at work that literally, if he's in the office,
yards, there is traffic congestion on A40
he goes to
with a delay of 8
Starbucks,
minutes
he
due
gets
to
a
queuing
coffee,
traffic.
and literally he'll sit at the charger for 50 minutes charging his car. You know, and that could be 3, 4, 5 days a week. Or if he's going to Scotland, you know, because he's not got the home charger, before he even sets off, the day before he's sat there to get it to 100% capacity. And I just think it can be very inconvenient if that was the case.
What they're doing with the flats now, where you've got parking, let's say basement parking, they will just have a number of chargers, and at the bottom, and you have if you're assuming you're renting, you have a token that you pay, top up, you tap it on there, and it becomes affordable. Another guy, I think it's £2.50 or £3 he pays for his charging at the bottom of his block of flats. So that's beneficial. Hopefully they carry on those kind of schemes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
In that respect,
it's just one of them, isn't it? It depends on each person's individual circumstances, isn't it? You know, it's like Paulette. She typically drives 40 miles a day to work. You know, she's got a petrol Mini. Paulette's a little bit, you know, reticent to make that step towards electric, but potentially it would work. You know, charges it once a week. That's it, job done. It's just, you know, it's the high mileage drivers that it would, you know, potentially be inconvenient if he was having to.
It's the Uber drivers who were asked to go to Birmingham while they were in Gatwick Airport at lastminute.com. Yeah, you didn't look at that. That's going to be like a whole day journey.
Yeah, time's money, isn't it?
Yeah,
Time's money.
You start to work out. You get 10 seconds to work that out, and then it's like, then the job goes to someone else. But yeah, it's one of those things. But thanks a lot for your input.
No problem, mate.
We're glad you had a good holiday.
We did. We loved it. Yeah, we went to on the Rocky Mountaineer train in Canada.
Oh yeah.
7-night Alaska cruise. The family surprised me because it was my birthday in London when we first left the north and came to London, got to the hotel and they were all there. So yeah, we've had a great time. So back to reality now.
What do you think of London?
Yeah, loved it. Yeah. Really enjoyed our stay. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Well, thanks a lot for that, and we wish you well.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.